Hello everyone, this is Manoj, Vijay and Shiva. We three have formed as a group to work on a project using the theoretical knowledge gained in the current semester. We've explored few projects and finally picked up a solution that can save lives and economy. We have termed it as driver drowsiness detection system. This is my group, Group 1, and this is Manoj, and along with me, Vijay and Shiva are part of this project. An overview. Gathered few stats across net and surprised to see the facts and the figures. We've actually referred the National Safety Council Board, which is a non-profit organization, and gathered the details out from that net. And there are several solutions already in force, still being researched, and new solutions are being proposed, and so on. Out of all, some of them monitor steering pattern of the driver when he is in a good health versus he's sleepy or disturbed mentally or physically, and raise alarm when system finds deviations. Few solutions by employing the external cameras and devices gauging the driver pattern and deviation from lanes. Some more solutions employ several sensors to monitor the driver's heart rate, brain, and muscle activities and raise alarm when they notice any disturbances, and many more. Almost all of the solutions we have listed just now involve either complex, costly equipment or limited in their successful utilization based on several parameters. Like, for example, monitoring steering control pattern may produce false alarms when the driver is not fatigued but excited for some reason. We are looking for a solution which is simple, easy to implement, and a fail-proof solution functionally as well as technically feasible as a part of second semester. How about a solution that continuously monitors driver's face and raises alarm when the device notices closed eyes for a duration? National Safety Council announced November 1st week as the drowsy driving prevention week. Coincidentally, we are in the same month. Okay. There are several solutions exist. Majority are employed in a very luxurious vehicles. Life is precious and not to be scared based on money alone. Who knows, a poor guy traveling in a passenger vehicle is not an instant. In case the driver is less fatigued and controls, even then the reports can be captured appropriate. Safety precautions can be taken by the operations in time. In case the driver is in helpless state, advanced sensor controls can be rescued by leaving the vehicle to a stable state, keeping the circumstances in view. At least can alert passengers inside so that they can take appropriate measures if such costly equipment is not administered. So these are the objectives of the projects. Study the requirements of a problem, research the solutions, merits and demerits, and we have analyzed the feasibility and applicability, detecting fatigue and drowsiness levels, prepare a cost-effective, foolproof driver alert system. The project scope, functional scope, it should be affordable by all vehicles, automatic reporting to vehicle operators, avoid any major catastrophe. Technical scope, okay, what basically we do here is we took a model called iBug model with huge collection of faces so that the system understands how a pair of eyes looks like when in closed state and in open state. Use the knowledge to detect the driver's fatigue and raise an alarm when notices the pair of eyes in closed state beyond a predefined duration. So technically, it is a supervised deep learning with ensemble model is what we are working on. I would like to show a short demo how our program works.
Thank you, Manoj. Manoj gave good introduction about the project, and he already explained why we picked up the project and the solution. For continuity's sake, let me explain what he already mentioned briefly. In this project, we are using a deep learning model. What it does is the model captures a collection of eyes as training data to gain the knowledge. Model has about 85K images collected from different people under different conditions, where these eyes belong to different men and women. Some of them wearing glasses, some without glasses, some of the images with varying degrees of reflections, few sets of images under different lighting conditions, and so on. All of the images in one of the two states, like one open left eye, open right eye, similarly, or closed left eye or closed right eye. What we are interested from this is the state of eyes, whether the eyes are closed state or in the open state. Now, the model contains data as train and validations. It should be able to verify and justify for the accuracy of the model. Now, it is the duty of the deep learning model to scan the images and gain the knowledge. We make the model to do this activity using the training data and validate data to gain satisfactory training. After we notice satisfactory accuracy of the model, we put it to use for testing in real life scenario. Assume that this is the pair of the eyes of the driver, and the system extract features from it to compare against the knowledge it has already gained. It predicts the eyes as either open or closed state. In this slide, we show some workflow and explained in the previous slide. This is the overall architecture view of the total workflow. We plan to capture the video stream from the device, transform the color images into the black and white, RGB to gray color. This reduction doesn't harm the accuracy of the factor much. System keeps monitoring the state of the eyes for some duration, and if the state is closed, it raises an alarm. With this, I hand over the presentation of the next few slides to Mr. Siva.
Yeah. Thanks, Manoj and Vijay. In our iBug model, it provides a 68-point markup for annotating the facial features. We are using this model in our D3S system. We are using a technique called transfer learning, which is using the knowledge gained by a model that is well trained offline using the real world data. The facial database that we are using includes large collection of images, which covers the different personalities, different poses under different illumination conditions, etc. Yeah. Using this screen, we are going to show how the facial features are detected in iBug model. iBug model provides 68-point annotations to identify the facial features. So this is the sample representative screen. For example, the annotation marks 37 to 42 represents the left eye. Similarly, the right eye will be 43 to 48. Similarly, we can just use this annotation marks to identify various facial features like nose and mouth. Okay, so we just move on to the next page. So earlier we were using iBug model to identify the facial parts. So now the next step is we are going to detect whether the eyes are open or closed. we are using the eyes aspect ratio to find out the eye status. So below picture, the first image, it will be the eyes are wide open. In the second image, the eyes are shut, closed. The respective aspect ratio will be shown in the below graph. So whenever the eyes aspect ratio falls below the threshold, the system will detect the eyes are closed, then it will raise an alert to the drivers. We just move to the next slide. Yeah, this is our approach we use in D3S system. The D3S system will be, we are just using a laptop with webcam facility that will enable us to capture the images from video stream. Then we are using Python for our development and PyCharm as a IDE. We just download and extract the pre-trained model. Then the Python will detect the faces from the video stream. Once the images is captured, it will be transformed into a grayscale. Then using the iBug model, will the 68 markup points will identify the facial features. Then using the eye aspect ratio to identify the eye status. Then based on the aspect ratio, if it is below the threshold, then the system will trigger the alarm. So this is our overall approach we are using in D3S system. Regards to D3S system's limitation, at one limitation we could think of, it is if the driver wearing a transparent glasses, the system is working fine. The other limitations may be the lighting conditions and camera's quality and position of the camera. All those things, it may affect the performance in case, yeah. Thanks.